Liz really, I believe, listened to what we had to say and did exactly what we needed.
I could tell from the first time I met her that she and I were a really good match. I think she has a great way of matching her clients to the product that they want.
Love it. Dawn Stratton and Robin Miller know that Liz Toombs makes it her business to ask a lot of questions.
I always say hire people that know more than I do to help me reach my goals. And Liz just went with it.
I felt like she was very succinct about figuring out exactly what it is we needed to get to make sure that it was perfect for me.
The owner of Polka Dots and Rosebuds Interiors in Lexington, Kentucky since 2009, Liz discovered early on that she needed to dig deeper and learn more about her clients' wants and needs.
I didn't think I needed a psychology degree to be able to decorate someone's home, but you do. You really have to understand somebody.
After a few rough business decisions, she came to the realization that every conversation is crucial when it comes to connecting with the right customer for her company.
As a young business owner, you want to help anyone, but after a couple times of experiencing, someone who really wasn't a great fit, and that was the point where it was like, okay, we need to have some questions and get a little bit deeper in the beginning and not be halfway through the process before we realize that maybe this isn't going to work.
Which is why Liz started interviewing her clients about the homes, storefronts, and offices they wanted to decorate or renovate.
They may catch on that it's a little bit of an interview process, but it's not something that's an interrogation. It's just very conversational, and they're natural questions that pertain to the project.
Liz knows how to get customers talking. She has her list of go-to questions to get the ball rolling.
Who's using the space? How will it be used? What their timeline is? And then we also need to know about budget, what they're wanting to spend.
Going into any conversation, Liz knows who she can work with and who she can't.
Someone who understands what they would like to accomplish. They may not understand their personal design aesthetic, but they know the living room needs to be done, or they have X number of dollars to accomplish a priority list. If someone is really unsure of what that end product needs to be, we're not quite ready to help them at that point.
The process is much like a job interview. A simple phone call is usually the first step. In some cases, it's the last one as well.
Not everyone that calls is a good fit. We may not be able to service them the way that they want, and so we have to figure that out before we go ahead and go out and meet with them.
If Liz thinks there's potential, she schedules a time to chat in person. Remember, her questions are fairly routine, but the answers can make or break the relationship.
Typically, the questions that I'm asking about the space get the answers that we need. People will be a little more forthcoming than even what you're asking for. Once we see the space, we meet them, you can feel the chemistry if it's working or if it's not.
As Liz sees it, there isn't only one right answer to her questions. She knows everyone's style is different, but the responses set the tone and the timing for the rest of the project.
Usually from seeing the space and coming up with a plan, that's maybe 2 to 3 weeks time. So it's very important that we're clicking and that we understand each other fully in the beginning and we know what we're getting ourselves into.
From that point forward, the questions get more detailed so that Liz can come up with a game plan and create a look.
We have to ask them specific questions like colors they like, patterns they like. More importantly, the colors and patterns they don't like, because that can be a little bit more telling.
Her primary concern is giving clients what they want and not what she thinks they might want.
We're very collaborative in working with our clients. We want their input. That's something that historically is not what the industry is known for. You often feel like you hire a designer, you're bulldozed. We do not take a project if we are the only voice.
Liz also tries to identify the decision maker in her client interviews. There's nothing worse than having to deal with people who can't agree.
Sometimes it's a tug of war and a balancing act between a husband and a wife to be able to say, well, she really likes this, I don't like that, so whose opinion is going to win out? What do we have to do to balance that?
It doesn't happen often, but Liz will turn down jobs based on the outcome of her interview.
Just like the customers need to know themselves, you need to know yourself as a business owner. There's a little bit of a gut reaction and you can just tell, and if I get that feeling, we don't do it.
She just refuses to take on a client who isn't a good match, even if it means losing money.
No matter how much we could have made on the project, it wouldn't have felt good. There would have been a lot of added stress. It could have ended in a bad relationship, and I just don't want to leave that kind of wake behind me. Just because you take 3 new clients, if they're not a good fit, you may be missing out on one really great client that you could have had.
Liz's customers get the sense that the interview process has actually made her a better listener.
You know, in the beginning when you meet somebody new and you've got ideas in your head and you want the others to understand. I just still remember the day they came to the office with everything to show us what they had learned from us, and it was exactly on.
She, I think, has listened to me, take it in the most basic level and translate that into something pretty phenomenal for the decor in my home.
Liz says she'll continue to ask, listen, and learn from her customers. She believes it's the best way to give her clients top-notch service that they won't forget.
I want to be able to help the client and leave them with a good feeling based on our experience. I work very hard to be able to do that with clients. So the communication doesn't stop after that first interview process. It keeps going, and that was just the foundation for it.